There are 7 steps to building wealth, and let me explain to you what I'm about to share with you. I want you to be not just financially secure, but wealthy, and you can be. I mean, that's the simple truth of it. I started from zero. When I say zero, not only zero money, but zero education. I mean, I had a high school diploma, but the things I'm about to teach you, they don't teach in high school, they don't teach in college. Most of the strategies and the wealth dynamics I learned by using my own money. I went during this path of working with financial planners. And because I was uncertain of what direction to go, I put half my money in stocks and half my money in real estate. And I started to learn how these financial dynamics work. I'm going to show you 7 steps. So I hope you have a pen or some way to take notes so you can follow this process, because these are the 7 steps you need to follow to reach the path of growing the maximum amount of wealth and retirement income. Now, number 1 is the saving money mindset, or the belief system. Most people believe that saving money is the only way, and I mean saving a lot of money, is the only way they're ever going to be financially secure when they retire. And since most people, like 80% of the people, can't save very much money, they throw in the towel. They give up. They say, hey, you know what? I can't save very much money, so I guess I'm just out. I'm just screwed. That's just the way it is. That is not true. Now, let me show you the wealth growth dynamics of trying to save your way there. This scenario I'm showing you is the typical client consultation that we do. Let's say we're talking to someone that's 40 years old and wants to retire by the time they're 65. So that's 25 years. Their monthly expenses, let's say, are $5,000 a month. So that's rent, your house payment, car payments, food bills, utility bills, insurance, entertainment, everything. They're saving $400 a month, and they have $20,000 in their retirement account. Now, inflation has averaged about 3% a year for the past 100 years. As I said earlier, it's about 5.5% right now, and that's a big problem. And let's say you average 4.5% net return. Now, here's what net means. That means after expenses. So if you have a 401k or IRA, those money managers don't work for free. They're charging you at least 1%. So you need to net 5.5%, 6% to end up, or you need to have a return of 5.5%, 6% to net 4.5%. Let me show you what inflation is going to do. In 25 years, your wealth growth would be $282,000. Look what happens to your expenses. With inflation at 3% a year, about every 22 years, your expenses are going to double. Most people have no idea about that. I would give you kind of a quick example of what I'm talking about. When I was 18 years old and I moved out of my parents' house with a high school buddy, we rented a nice 2-bedroom apartment, and we split a rent bill of $315 a month. That same place, now that was 44 years ago. That same place today rents for $2,600 a month, from $315 to $2,600 a month. Now, if someone would have told me back then, I would have never believed them. And that's what happens with inflation. Now, if you divide these 2 numbers, your life savings by your annual expenses, you see you have 2.25 years before you run out of money. But it's actually worse than that. And here's why. About 1/3 of the money that's in your life savings, your retirement account, isn't your money. You have to pay the state and you have to pay the federal government. So depending on your tax bracket. But it's usually, for most people, about 25 to 35% of this is not your money. So when you divide this up, it even goes lower. The retirement income, just the earnings on the life savings, is only $1,000 a month. Your expenses have doubled from $5,000 over $10,000 a month. And that's the thing that everyone needs to factor in. If you're 20 years from retirement, you better double your expenses. We got a $9,400 a month shortage. Big shortage. Now, if your expenses, if you need $10,000 a month after taxes to pay your bills, then what does that mean you need in income before taxes? Well, the number's closer to $13,000. So if you take $13,000, subtract your Social Security, which is going to be maybe 2,000, you can see you're nowhere near being able to have a sustained retirement. So let me show you how much money you would need to have saved. If your expenses are 10,000 and you get a 4.5% return, you need to have 2.8 million, which would mean you need to be saving $3,000 a month. Not very many people are saving $3,000 a month. This is why the saving money mindset is a loser strategy. And I cannot emphasize this enough. This false belief, this mindset of the only way I can become financially secure is I got to save as much as I can and then live on it. It's a stressful life, number one, and it's an even more stressful retirement because you don't want to go back to work and you start watching your life savings disappear.